What is up, everybody? I am Dylan Clark, and in front of me here, I have a Gibson J45 that I just bought off of Reverb, okay? This is the first time I've ever bought anything off of Reverb. That's a website that sells a lot of used and new musical equipment. And yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about it. A couple years ago, I never would have dreamt that I would be buying a Gibson J45, a nice guitar, off of a website shipped to me without ever playing it. But here I am, and I'm going to talk about my experience in this video. We're going to open the guitar up. We'll see what kind of condition it's in. I'll show you the listing. We'll talk about how much I paid and stuff like that. Overall, I just want to kind of go through this experience and see if it's something that I regret. Am I going to regret buying a high-end, mid to high-end guitar off of a website without playing it? Is it going to be a good experience, bad? Find out in this video, and don't forget, if you enjoy this, make sure that you like and subscribe. Let's go ahead and show you the listing now, and then we'll open the guitar up and you'll see how it actually looks. All right, so on the screen right now, I have the listing for the J45 that I bought through Reverb, and I want to go through this and kind of point out some things to look for that I think can make you feel a lot more comfortable about buying, you know, an expensive or fairly expensive guitar through this online website without ever playing it. Yeah, we'll just kind of go through the listing here. So it's a Gibson acoustic J45 Studio Rosewood Antique Natural, listed as used, excellent condition, and the price is $1,900 with free shipping. So I sent them an offer of $1,500 with free shipping, and they accepted that within 24 hours. When they accepted it, I was like, man, I wish I would have offered a little bit less, but I honestly do. I feel like $1,500 is a good deal for me based upon how they describe this product. Next thing, I would say the biggest thing you're gonna look for if you're buying a guitar through Reverb is the seller. So it's August Gear Locker, and they're in Pasadena, Texas. And they have 236 reviews, 100% positive. So that right there just made me feel way more comfortable. The fact that they've had 236, buyers review them, and it's been 100% positive means a lot. And it means that this isn't a scam artist. This is somebody who's legit and has done this a lot and has experience with doing this and must be doing a good job in order to get that much positive reviews. So that made me feel a lot more comfortable. Next, the pictures were pretty high quality. They included a picture of the case candy. The stuff is still in the wrapper here. That means that, to me, whoever bought this guitar originally is, it doesn't necessarily mean this, but if they're keeping everything in the package and they still have everything, to me, it means that they're taking care of it, maybe a little bit more, and that they know how to treat a guitar, and they know that they've done this before. So that made me feel a little bit more comfortable, but it could mean nothing. That's just kind of me speculating there. And then as far as the other pictures here, they give pretty good pictures, not a lot of pictures, but pretty good pictures. And they do point out the one blemish here, and I'm not going to read this description. The listing is pretty generic as far as, what they talk about here. But the one thing they point out is that there's a small chip on the top of the hard shell case. See photo. So this is that. Just a little blemish there, but that's really all they point out. And again, they list it in excellent condition. They don't point out anything on the guitar. With that said, it's a used guitar. I fully recognize that. I'm buying a used guitar, but based upon this listing, I'm going to expect it to show up in pretty darn good condition as far as the guitar itself. So yeah, that makes me feel better. Now, keep in mind, I've never played this guitar. I've never played a J45, which is probably a little bit crazy to be spending this type of money on a guitar you've never played. But here's what made me feel comfortable doing this. I feel like I got a good enough deal on this to where if I get it and I don't like it, I can just sell it and get my money back. So that's a good position to be in. And granted, I don't want to do that, but I feel like I'm getting a good enough deal where I can do it. It's not like I'm buying it new where it's just going to depreciate as soon as I get it. I'm buying it used already. I'm getting a pretty good price on it. I feel like if I get it and I don't like it at all, I'll be able to sell it and get my money back out of it. So yeah, that's another factor that goes in here. One thing I will say as far as Reverb, I do see some fraud and some scams on here. I see a lot of I've seen some American Stratocasters on here for American professional Stratocaster 2s for like $700, which is, about half the price that they're going for on here, maybe even a little bit less. And if you see a deal in here that's too good to be true, and it's coming from outside the US, I would be very hesitant to buy that. There are some scams on here, some frauds. You see it a lot with like the Klon pedals and stuff. If it looks too good to be true and it's not a reputable seller in the US, I would be very hesitant to buy it, okay? So keep that in mind. Don't get greedy on here, or you could get in trouble real quick. But yeah, that's the listing. Again, I feel like I got a good deal. After they accepted the offer, I did send them a message asking, hey, is this going to be insured with the shipping? If something would happen to it in the shipping process, would there be insurance on it? They replied yes, and that it will be shipped in the original packaging. So if you've never bought a guitar online before, they don't come in the case. There's boxes around the case with additional padding and stuff in there. So again, that kind of eased my mind a little bit too. It's gonna be shipped professionally. So that's the listing. That's why I felt comfortable pulling the plug on my first Reverb internet guitar purchase. And now we wait to see when it shows up, and we'll show you guys that. All right, so my Gibson J45 has arrived. It actually showed up a couple days ago. Didn't have time to film, but we're gonna go over it. I have already opened it up and checked it out a little bit here, but we'll go over it. I'll show you, everything about it, as well as the box that it came in. So this is how it was packaged right here. Actually, really well in 2 different boxes. So this is the Gibson box. Looks like they originally bought it from Sweetwater. And then it had another box on the outside of that with a lot of foam in there. So it was definitely packaged very securely, very well. Of note, the seller included this sticker right here that says, I'm gonna summarize it. It basically says, caution, don't open your guitar if it's, give it 24 hours to settle into your home. Especially if it's cold weather. And I think that's a good warning they do. If you have a guitar that goes from warm temperature to cold really fast, or cold to warm really fast, it can damage the guitar, crack the finish. So it's better to let it, kind of acclimate over time. So I thought it was a nice touch that they included that sticker. And it kind of brings up another point that if I was ordering online and having a guitar shipped, I would be more hesitant to do that in the winter than in like the spring and fall, which is actually springtime right now. The milder temperatures are probably better. In extreme heat or extreme cold, I would be more hesitant to deal with it being shipped. With that said, let's get into the guitar now. And we'll go ahead and open this up. And I can switch this around so that you guys can see. There we go. All right, so it was shipped with the Diodario moisture packs opened and installed into the case and into the guitar, which I'm happy about that. I believe that they sell this guitar with them in the package. They open them up and put them in for shipping, which makes perfect sense to me. We'll go over the guitar in just a second. I want to get into the case candy, because we all know the case candy is actually more important than the guitar. So it looks like whoever originally bought this bought it from Sweetwater, which they included that inspection. All right, let's see what we have here. So this is the Gibson warranty card and final inspection sheet. These, I believe, are going to be screws for the truss rod cover, because I think they give you a separate one. This is the key for the case. Oh, this is cool. This is like oh wow. This is like a microfiber cloth, which is cool. And then this is a keychain. This is maybe the truss rod adjustment tool. And then this is the strap button. And I already installed a strap button on it and didn't realize this was in here. So pretty big gaffe on my part, but nevertheless, we got it achieved. Wasn't that big of a deal. All right, so that's some cool little case candy there. And then here is the optional truss rod cover, which I'll probably put that on. This says Studio. I'll probably put that on at some point. So, okay, let's get this back inside here. And let's go over the condition of the guitar now. So overall, the condition of the guitar was as described. The case had that one little blemish. I looked over the guitar very, very closely, and the only thing that I found was a little dimple right here. And I'll zoom in on a different shot to let you guys see that. But yeah, that dimple right there is the only thing that I saw out of the ordinary. Little just kind of blemish there. But, and if it was me selling it, I probably would have, you know, noticed that and shown that in the picture. But, you know, these are people who are selling a lot of stuff. It's a used guitar. I'm not gonna complain about that. I think that overall the condition of the guitar is as described. You know, I'm not gonna complain about that too much. Everything else on the guitar looks good. The rosewood is actually really, really pretty rosewood at this price point. I'm really surprised about that. And overall, everything looks great. Now, where this guitar is gonna fit into my arsenal is this is gonna be a stage guitar that's tuned down half a step. I've been using that Taylor GS Mini for the guitar that's tuned down half a step. I want a guitar with a little bit closer to normal scale length for that. So that's the role this is gonna play. It is an electric acoustic. So I think right now, let's plug it in and make sure all the electronics are working, and we'll tune it down half step, make sure it sounds good that way, make sure the action can handle being tuned down half a step. And so let's play it a little bit. All right, so this Gibson J45 Studio has the LR Bags Element pickup in it. I've got it plugged in now, got it tuned down half a step. I've got it running through my normal setup, which is an LR Bags Venue DI, and we're gonna see how it sounds. All right, so everything works, and that was the main test there. There was a little bit of fret buzzing there that I noticed, so we'll probably be doing some truss rod adjustments, see if we can work that out. But overall, I'm okay with how it sounded. I haven't tweaked any settings on my LR Bags or anything like that. As far as the controls in here, there's only a volume knob. There's no tone knob or anything like that. So we'll tweak that to try to get that sound a little bit better. But everything works, and that was the main goal there, and we'll tweak it over time. Now, I know you guys are going to want to hear how this sounds unplugged as well. I'm going to save that for the full review that I do on this guitar, going over everything down the line. So make sure you keep your eyes open on the channel for that within the next couple months. All right, so everything seems to be working properly. I'm a little bit sad that I installed a different strap button on there and didn't realize that. That's on me for trying to, you know, save the case candy for this filming. But no harm done, really. It's just a strap button. It's not a big deal. You know, overall, I'm pretty happy with my first Reverb purchase. Again, you know, there's some things to look out for. I think if you're careful on Reverb, you can buy, you know, mid-range, mid-upper range guitars, like I would consider this, pretty safely on there, and end up, you know, with a good deal and a good guitar. So yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to do this again from a reputable dealer on there. Let me know what you guys think. Guys, I'll be coming down the road with a review of this as far as how I like this guitar. Yeah, we'll go into depth about what this guitar is in a different video, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.